Okay, so APGP. AP means arithmetic progression. And GP is geometric progression. The topic related to this one in your IGCSEs, in your O level, you did was the number sequence. Number sequence was the topic which is, you can say, we have done similar to this one in O levels or IGCSEs. What was the number sequence? They used to give you a sequence 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, a pattern that the sequence follows, and then you found the next few terms, and then you found the sum of the first n terms or the nth term formula. So these two are special sequences, and they have a similar, what do you say? It's not very difficult. It's one of the easier topics, and you have to understand which one is which arithmetic progression. How do you identify if it is arithmetic, or how do you identify if it is geometric? You will have to see that, and it's a very simple difference between them.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
understand what arithmetic and geometric means. Like, समझ नहीं आया.
सही है, अभी तो बताया हूँ ना, अभी तो स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. The first one, the more basic one, arithmetic progression. These are just the names. Arithmetic, I don't know if you have heard this word before in your. I first heard this word in my CS, computer science, in my O level. There was, I think, a component. CPU was, I think, arithmetic, or the components of the CPU does for the complete CPU. It was arithmetic, one of them. So it does the plus minus things. Okay, it refers to the plus, minus, multiply, divide, these things. The arithmetic progression. I first heard this word over that, but no worries, don't worry. APGP. The English, you are not concerned with the English. How do you identify which one is which? Then arithmetic progression. These are some examples. For example, you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You have, let's suppose it is 7 and 15, 23, 31, 39, 47. Similarly, it can go on as long as you wanted to go. Third one, let's suppose it is 100. It is now 97, 94, 91, 88, 85, and so on and so forth. So all of these are examples of arithmetic progression. But how do you analyze? How do you see? How do you understand? How do you know? So you will see that the difference between the terms, it is constant. So you are just adding plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So you can see whenever you see a sequence, you will look for the difference between the consecutive terms. Consecutive terms mean the number after one another. So term 1, term 2, term 3. These are called consecutive terms, and you can see that the difference between consecutive terms, we call it difference D. This is constant 2. Similarly, for the next one, it is plus 8. Then you can see it is again plus 8. Then again plus 8. Then again plus 8. So this is also arithmetic progression, AP. So the D over here is 8 plus 8. In this example, it is minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. Similarly, or it will keep on going. If you want the next term, you would just subtract 3 from the previous one. So the D over here is minus 3. So if you see that the difference, common difference, we call it common difference. The difference between consecutive terms is constant. And when this is constant, then we call it, then we know that it is an AP. It is an arithmetic progression. That's it. And then now, if it is a arithmetic progression, what are the few things that we can do with it? They will ask you to get the nth term formula. How to find the nth term formula. Okay. So arithmetic progression, yes. The next thing that you would ask you, first of all, you will have to identify if it is AP or GP. And the first thing that you would do to identify is to find the difference between consecutive terms. and you see if that is constant, then it is AP. And then for the nth term formula, you have the general formula. It is Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1t. You have seen a similar type of formula in your O-level IGCS as well. So Tn is the term, actual term, right? A is the first term of the sequence. N is again the position over here. You will see the position for which you are trying to find the uh, value for, and then D is the common difference. So this is your formula. You have to learn this, and this is what you would use most of the time. Tn is the term, the value, n is the position, A is the first term. We'll just replace the things, and then common difference is D. So what is, yes?
So I don't understand वो position का कि वो O levels में किया but I can't recall कि वो position की जगह जैसे example दे दें.
अभी example करता हूँ. Let's suppose this is the sequence. I just took out the second one from the example which I gave. So you can see just after finding the difference between consecutive terms, you can just find like this plus 8 you can see, or you can also write that your D will be equal to T2 minus T1, the next term minus the previous one, or you can also write T3 minus T2, or you can also write T5 minus T4, the next one minus the previous one. This would be simply your D. So D, just by looking at it, you can see 15 minus 7, it is equals to 8. And again, looking at the sequence, you can see that the first term, which is called A, is your 7. So this means that the nth term formula would be 7 plus n minus 1 into 8. And if you simplify this thing further, 7 plus 8n minus 8, so Tn would be equal to minus 1 plus 8n. This is your nth term formula. So using this formula, if you have this formula, you can find any term on any position. For example, if they ask you to find the 100th term, so look your value of n for the 100th term, it is n. The position is 100. So minus 1 plus 8 times 100. So you will get 799. So this is your 100th term. Similarly, if they ask you to get the 75th term, this would be minus 1 plus 8 times 75. And you just use your calculator, whatever the answer means. 8 times 75 minus 1, 599. Similarly, they can give you sometimes they're going to give you the value of the term and they can ask you for the position. For example, they can ask you find n if Tn, the value of the term, it is, let's suppose, 607. So now this is the Tn formula for the sequence that we're working with. And then we know the position. Sorry, we need to find the position for the term in the sequence which has the value of 607. So 607 is the Tn minus 1 plus 8n. So minus 1 would go on the other side and add. So 608 is equals to 8n. So n would be equal to 608 divided by 8, which would be 76. Okay, just like this. Now you found the value of n. You found the position. So the 76th term in this same sequence would have the value of 607. This is how it works. Similarly, let's suppose if you have a sequence 71 and 65, 59, 53, 47, and so on and so forth. The first thing you would find is your D. If the first thing you will look for is the common difference. If you see that it is minus 6, then again you can see it is minus 6. Then again you can see it is minus 6. Then again minus 6. So you can see that common difference, it is constant. So D is equals to 65 T2 minus 61, which would be minus 71, which is minus 6. And then you also know the value of A. A is 71. So your Tn becomes 71 plus n minus 1 into minus 6. And you can simplify it further. Otherwise, this is your nth prime formula. This is your answer. That's it. Okay. Any questions, anyone?
Is it necessary to expand के वो -6 को multiplied by n and then -1 and then we can leave it in this form
Yes.
only?
You may need to. It's better to simplify it. Minus 6n plus 6. So 77 minus 6n. This is your answer. But the questions won't be as simple as this. Now you understand what is A, what is D, what is N, what is Tn, and how would you identify if it is AP. The questions would be complicated, definitely. They would give you some terms from within that sequence. They would ask you for the A, value of A, for the value of D. I will show you. But now you know the formula. General formula is A plus N minus 1D. Now one more thing that will help you out. I generalized generalization for the formula. You know that the formula of Tn in this case is A plus N minus 1 into D. So using the same formula, if I find T1 till let's suppose T10 in terms of A and D. So what will happen? We know the first term, it is A, right? We know the first term T1, it is equals to A. Because N minus 1 into D, N minus 1 would become 0. And 0 times D would be 0. And then you will get simply A. Then T2 would be A plus 2 minus 1 into D, which will be A plus D. Then your T3 will be A plus 3 minus 1 into D, which will be A plus 2D. You see a pattern over here? So if you're T2, then your D is 1. If it is T3, then your D is 2. If it will be T4, then your D will be 3D. If it is T5, it will be A plus 4D. Similarly, if you go up until T10, it will be A plus 9D. The coefficient of D is 1 less than the prime number, always, in this case. If let's suppose they ask you to find the value of T74, you can generalize it. This would be A plus 73D. The D would be 1 less. Isn't it? If they ask you for the term of 210, this would be A plus 209D. Okay, so you can find any term from anywhere. If you don't know the value of A and D, you can write it in a generalized. You can open it up like this. So the coefficient of D is always 1 less than the prime number.
Sir?
Yes.
So the value with T is what we put in place of N.
The value of T. This is your term value.
Yeah. So
And
you put
N,
that in place of N.
this is your term value. And N is the position. The N that you are using over here, this is your position. First position, second position, third position. So the position that they were asking you to find was the 210 position, right? The N. It is N over here. So the position that they are asking you to find is 210. And T 210 means the value at the 210 position. Okay. So N is, for this case, your N is 210. And the value at the 210 position, we don't know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now they can give you any two values within a sequence, and they will ask you to get the value of A and D. They can ask you to solve it simultaneously. they will ask you many things that you will. Okay, so in an arithmetic progression, the first term is given to you. First term is given to you. So T1 is minus 27, which is also the value of your A. And they have given you the 16th term. Look, 16, T16, it is given to you, which is 78. And if you open it up with the using the generalized method, you will know that the 16th term would be equal to A plus 1 less. The coefficient of D would be 1 less. So this would be 15D. Look, you have this equation, you have this equation. Then you will solve them simultaneously. You will get the value of D as well. So you know the first term it is what? The first term is minus 27. So 78 is equals to minus 27 plus 15 into D. And this minus 27 will go over there and become plus 27. So that would become, I think, 100 or something. 85 and 110, I think. Let's see. 78 plus 27. 105. Sorry. And so this would be 15D. And then now your D would come out as 105 divided by 15, which is 7. So now the Tn formula, you can easily form it. Now the Tn formula for U is A is minus 27 plus n minus 1 into D. D is 7. This is your n term problem. They ask you to find the value of D for the first part, and you found it. And then the number of terms. The second, last thing that they put in the first sentence, it is that the last term is 169. So we can call it, let's suppose, the last term, TL. The last is 169. But we don't know how many number of terms are there. Number of terms is the value, is the n, right? Position. We don't know what is the position of the last term. They have given us that the value of the last term is 169. But we don't know what is the position of the last term. And the position of the last term will get you the total number of terms. Position of last term will get you total number of terms. And that sequence. So we don't know the value of n. So if we find the value of n for this last term, which is 169, so this would be 169 is equals to minus 27 plus n minus 1 into 7. So minus 27 would go over there and become plus. So 169 plus 27. So this is 196 is equals to n minus 1 into d. And so 196 divided by 7. This thing divided by 7. 28. So this 28 is equals to n minus 1. And so n will come out as 29. So this means the position of the 169th term is 29. So the last term is 29. So the total number of terms are also 29. Right? Okay. Okay. Now for the last part, part B, find the sum of the terms in this progression. So sum of, this is a new thing. Sum of first n terms in n AP. Okay, it is equal to n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. And we also call it Sn. Sn meaning the sum of the first n number of terms. So you just have to use this formula. That's it. So find the sum of the terms in this sequence. So in this sequence, you can see the total number of terms are 29 because they're asking you to find all of the sum of all of the terms. So A is your minus 27 and D is your, what is your D? Yes, 7. That's it. Now you input this. So NS of 29 terms, it is equals to 29 upon 2 times A plus 29 minus 1 into D. And then you would use your calculator. 205. This is your answer. That's it. Okay. Simple. Now they can ask you, they will tell you some information regarding to this as well. Sum of first n number of times, and then you will find an equation using this formula as well, and then you will solve it simultaneously as well. So all of these things would revolve around these two formulas for AP. This is the sum formula and the nth term formula. These ones. Everything will revolve around this. So you have to understand the properly the question and then work accordingly. We'll do some more examples on this. The first term of NAP, it is 15. So A is 15. The last term. So the last one. We don't know. The last one, it is 27. The sum of the first 5. Sum of first 5. S5, it is given to you. 79. They're asking you to find the number of terms. They are asking you to find the total n. So with the information that they have given you and with the formulas that you know, you will form equations and then you will solve it. Definitely it's simultaneously. Possibly. So sum of 5 terms, we know the Sn formula it is. You have to learn this. N upon 2, 2a, n minus 1, d, right? So look, you can see the value of n is 5. So this would be 5 upon 2, 2a plus 5 minus 1. It is 4 into d is equals to 79. And you know the first value as well. The first value is 15. So 5 upon 2 into 15 plus, sorry, 2 times 15 is 30. 30 plus 4d is equals to 79. And now you will solve it using your algebra, basic algebra. You will get the value of d. So 5 and 2 would go over there. 79 multiplied by 2 divided by 5. This thing. And then minus 30. And then you will do divide by 4. So your d is 2 upon 5. So you found the d. First of all, I moved the 2 and 5 on the other side. So 79 multiplied by 2 divided by 5. And then 30 would move on the other side and subtract. So minus 30. And then the 4 would go and divide. So divide by 4. So your answer is 0.4. 2 upon 5, yes. And now you can see that the term formula would become A plus n minus 1 into d. D is 2 upon 5. And the last term is given to us. The last term is 27. So 27, and what is the value of n? We don't know. Now again, you will use algebra, find the value of n. And the n will tell you how many terms are there. So 27 minus 15. Okay. And then this thing would be multiplied by 5 and then divide by 2. Okay, 30. And 30 plus 1. Because n minus 1, the minus 1 would go over this and add. So this answer plus 1. So there were the n, the position of the 27 term value. It is 31. And because this was the last term, 27 was the last term. So this means that there were how many terms? 31. This is your answer. Okay. Any questions? Go ahead, Abhiyan, Asfar, Rayan.
No, sir.
So you have to learn the two formulas. What is N, what is A, what is D, what is Sn, what is Pn. Everything would revolve around this. They would give you the relevant, some sufficient information to get the unknowns, always. Okay, let me do another one, and then you can copy it down. You have questions like these as well. Application based, AP or GP. I'll show you this worksheet. Robert buys a car for 8,000 in total, including interest. He pays for the car by making monthly payments that are in arithmetic progression. The first payment that he makes is 200. The T1, it is 200, which is your A. And the debt is fully repaid after 16 payments. So there were how many payments? 16. Find the fifth payment. We know how much he has to pay in total. 8,000. So this means the sum of all of the 16 payments would be equal to 8,000 definitely. Because this 8,000 is being divided into 16 payments, right? So each payment, if you add all of them up, they would sum to a total of $8,000. So now we know the sum of the 16 terms. So if you use the formula again, it is n upon 2, 16 upon 2. 2a, a is your 200, plus n minus 1, which is 16 minus 1, so 15, into d is equals to 8,000. And now you will find the value of d. 8,000 multiplied by 2 divided by 16, and then subtracted by 400, and then divided by 15. So your d is coming out as 40. Common difference is positive 40. The next, in the second month, he is paying 240. In the third month, he is paying 320. Fourth month, 360. They're asking you for the fifth term, fifth payment. So you can write it down as well, like this: 280, then 320, then 360. So you can see this is the fifth payment. So the fifth payment is equal to $360. That's it. So an arithmetic sequence has the first term A. We don't know A. The common difference D. We don't know common difference, which is equal to D. The sum of the first 20, the sum of first 20, it is equal to 7 times sum of first 5. Sum of first 5. They're asking you to find D in terms of A. So we will form an equation and then make D the subject. So sum of first 20. So it would be n upon 2, so 20 upon 2. Then 2 times A plus n minus 1. N is 20. So 19 minus 1, sorry, 19. 20 minus 1 is 19, and then D is equals to 7. Then the formula is n upon 2. So n upon 2 is 5 upon 2 in this case. Then again 2A plus your n is 5, so n minus 1 would be 4. 4D. So now you will simplify, move things around, and then make D the subject. You want D in terms of A. So to this 2 and 2 would cancel out. Right? This 5 and this would become 4. So this becomes 8A plus 38, and then this would become 76. No, yes, 76. 76D is equals to, this would become 14A plus 28D. So move everything on one side. 76D minus 28D is equals to 14A minus 8A. That should be 6A, and this would be 76 minus 38. 48D. And so your D would come out as 6A upon 48. 1 upon 8a. This is the answer to your first part. Then they're asking you to find the 65th term in terms of a. So T65, I told you it will be equal to, in the generalized, using the generalization concept, would be a plus 64d. The coefficient of d is 1 less than the term position, 64d. And so your a will be a, and 64 will be, sorry, 64 will be, so 64, and instead of d, you will write 1 upon 8a. And so then you will get 64 divided by 8 and then plus 1. So you will get 9a. This is your 65th term. The answer to your second one, and this is the answer to your first one. Okay? Simplification. Look at the formula that I've used. You will always be using the same 2, 3 formulas again and again. You just have to analyze the situation, see what they've given you, use the relevant formulas, and then you will have to simplify the things, get the right answer. Okay, this is it for today's class. I'm stopping the recording. You people can copy it down.